The details now. The government has reduced the revenue and expenditure estimates for the current fiscal year 2080-81 after a mid-review of the budget. For the current financial year, revised estimate stands worth at 87.38% of the initially allocated budget, that was 1,530.26 billion rupees. Finance Minister Dr. Mahat said that the estimate has been revised so that 88.84% will be spent on the current expenditure, 84.13% under the capital and 87.39% on the financial arrangement compared to the initial allocation. By the end of the current year, it is estimated that 1,309.3 billion worth of revenue and domestic loan and 40.12 billion worth of foreign assistance and 180.83 billion worth of foreign loan will be spent. Although the steps taken by the government to improve the economy are gradually showing results, Finance Minister Dr. Mahat clarified that the state of low revenue collection and weak budget expenditure is still present. Though the revenue collection has increased compared to last year, it is a little less than the initial target. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal, also the chair of the National Security Council, called on President Ramchandra Paudel today to present the Council's annual report. Upon receiving the report, President Paudel expressed hope that the Council would consistently act with caution in promoting the interest of nationality, sovereignty, independence, integrity and national security. During the meeting, the President spoke the need of enhancing the nation's independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity and autonomy. The President also stressed the need for promoting cultural, religious, linguistic and communal harmony, social tolerance and unity, and strengthening the national social security system. Furthermore, the President underscored the effective implementation of the national security policy. President Paudel commended the Council for presenting the report with a strategic outlook concerning nationality, sovereignty, integrity and security. The National Vigilance Centre has presented 18-point suggestions to the government to control corruption and maintain good governance. The centre has been conducting activities such as collecting information, monitoring and conducting technical tests for corruption control. In 2019, the High-Level Administration Reform Implementation and Monitoring Committee suggested that an agency should investigate and take action against unfair actions. The centre also suggested that the centre, under the Prime Minister's direct supervision, should be empowered to do so. The 18-point suggestion include the need for expansion, the development of a mechanism for electronic information exchange between monitoring agencies, and bringing corrupt activities in private sector, public service organization under legal ambit. The Office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers has started following up on the status of implementation of the directives Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal issued to the government ministries and secretaries during the ministry-wise review in the beginning of his second term in office. The Prime Minister's office has written to the ministries concerned, seeking reports on the progress of implementation of directives the Prime Minister issued to various ministries for work and policy-related reforms. The Prime Minister's office had on January 24 sent letters to the ministries asking them to submit progress report on the implementation of Prime Minister's directives. Some ministries have not yet submitted their progress report and have been urged to do so at the earliest. The National Assembly today endorsed the Mata Dasrat Chand Health Science University Bill 2080 Bikram Sambat. The Minister of State for Education, Science and Technology, Pramila Kumari, proposed the meeting to pass the bill, highlighting the government's objective to ensure quality health services for citizens through the establishment of the university. Prior to this, various lawmakers took part in the deliberations on the bill, and in response to their queries, the State Minister said the bill aimed to provide quality medical education and healthcare facilities. particularly focusing on the Sudur Paschim province. Furthermore, the meeting unanimously accepted a proposal to amend some acts related to preventing money laundering and promoting a business-friendly atmosphere in the country. Besides, it is expected to be helpful in promoting financial transparency, building investment-friendly atmosphere and establishing good governance. The National Assembly shall meet again at 1 p.m. on coming Sunday, that's February 18. A short break is lined up here. We'll be back with more news on the other side. Do stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. Public Accounts Committee under the House of Representatives has raised concerns that the Social Welfare Council has not effectively regulated and monitored the work of national and international non-government organizations. The committee called for information on the expenses, achievements and improvements of NGOs affiliated to the council. Most parliamentarians believe that the council has been unable to effectively regulate NGOs and INGOs according to its responsibilities. The Minister of Women, Children and Senior Citizens, Surendra Raj Acharya, stated that the existing Social Welfare Act needs to be amended and refined. The committee has decided to request more information and investigate the financial irregularities raised. The Education, Health and Technology Committee under the House of Representatives has called on the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology and the Vice-Chancellor Recommendation Committee to reconsider the controversial selection of the Vice-Chancellor of Tribhuvan University. In the meeting of the committee held today at Singadarbar, while discussing about the persons shortlisted for Vice-Chancellor, the committee decided to draw the attention of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology and the Vice-Chancellor's Recommendation Committee to reconsider the disputed persons, who have also been fined for intellectual theft, corruption and concealment of information. Committee Chair Joshi has requested transparency in the appointment process and accessibility to the general public. The committee's decision comes amid ongoing investigations into the selection of the Vice-Chancellor. A parliamentary delegation that visited China last December submitted its visit report to Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal. The team, headed by CPN Maoist Centre Chief Whip Hitraj Pandey, presented the report to the Prime Minister amidst a program today at the office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Upon receiving the report, the Prime Minister pledged to consider the report's submissions in the government's upcoming policies and programs. The parliamentary delegation visited China from December 18 to 30 at the invitation of the Academy for International Business Officials under the Ministry of Commerce of China. 14 members from the House of Representatives, 3 from the National Assembly and Federal Parliament Secretariat Secretary Sudarshan Khadga were among those who visited China in course of attending the workshop for Nepal's legislators. The delegation advised the government to focus on a people-centric development model for achieving overall development and prosperity. It also calls for the honest implementation of bilateral agreements, strengthening the state's right to land for development, creating an investment-friendly atmosphere for Chinese investments, and launching programs to attract Chinese tourists. Police today paraded an Indian national arrested with a huge sachet of counterfeit Nepali currency. Superintendent of Police at Sunsari District Police Office said the arrestee is 22-year-old Muhammad Syed alias Chotu, a resident of the Indian state of Bihar. Syed was arrested on Sunday morning with 18.2 million fake notes in the denomination of 1,000. The Indian national carried the notes in a jeep and was apprehended during a security check near Sunsari River Bridge in Inorua municipality. The police said the vehicle with an Indian registration number was heading east after entering Nepal through the Bhandabari border point and had a permit for travel to Nepal that was valid until Monday. Police said Syed was remanded to a 6-day judicial custody, adding that an investigation is underway. The Ministry of Home Affairs has clarified that there will be no public holiday on Fagun 1st, that's February 13 this year. In a notice issued today, Ministry's Joint Secretary and spokesperson Narayan Prasad Bhattarai informed that the decision to revoke the holiday being based on the Supreme Court's ruling. Earlier, the government had announced a public holiday on Fagun 1st to commemorate the People's War Day. However, the decision was challenged in the Supreme Court, leading to the Apex Court's directive ordering the government to rescind it. Consequently, the Council of Ministers on February 8 officially decided to discontinue the provision of a public holiday on Fagun 1st each year. Continuing in the National Front, President Ram Chandra Paudel has felicitated Nepali singer Menuka Paudel, who reached the top 10 of Indian Idol singer competition. President Paudel honored singer Paudel at a ceremony held at the office of the President today. On the occasion, President Paudel said that the singer's hard work and ability has increased the pride of all Nepalis. The President said that singer Paudel has shown that people will achieve success through continuous practice and dedication. A short break is lined up here. We'll be back with the international headliners. More than 60 people were killed in heavy airstrikes on densely crowded Rafah in southern Gaza before dawn today, according to the Hamas-run territory's health ministry. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered his army to prepare a ground offensive on Rafah, Gaza's last major population center that troops have yet to enter after Hamas's October 7 attacks sparked the war. About 1.4 million Palestinians have crowded into Rafah, with many living in tents while food, water and medicine are becoming increasingly scarce. Pakistanis still do not know which party will form their next government or who their next prime minister will be 4 days after the hotly contested general elections. Despite former Prime Minister Imran Khan's detention and the many hurdles thrown at his Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) independent candidates backed by the party stunned observers by winning 93 National Assembly seats, the most by any party. However, it is far short of the 169-seat simple majority required to form a government. The Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz PMLN of another former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif came in second with 75 seats. He was seen to have the backing of the country's powerful military and had been expected to coast to victory 5 years after he left Pakistan in disgrace. A Qatari court has released 8 former Indian naval officers previously on death row for unspecified charges. 7 of the men have already returned to India, Delhi's foreign ministry said today. In January, authorities said their death penalty had been converted into prison sentences of varying lengths. Neither Qatar nor India revealed the charges against the men, who are working for Dara Global, a private firm in Qatar. But Financial Times and Reuters have reported that the men were charged with spying for Israel. A quick look now into the news ahead in the bulletin. First, the business news. The National Statistics Office has stated that 20.27% people still live below the poverty line in Nepal. Releasing the Nepal Living Standards Survey 2079.80 today. The NSO said that country's poverty rate could not decrease as expected due to Gorkha earthquake of 2015 and the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the NLSS report, the rate of poverty is intense in the rural areas compared to the cities, with the poverty rate in the cities remaining 18.34%, while it is 24.66% in the rural areas. During the program, National Planning Commission Vice Chairman Dr. Min Bahadur Shrestha argued that the country's progress in poverty alleviation has faded due to the corona pandemic, natural disasters and other reasons. As per the survey, 4 provinces have more poverty rate against the national record of the poverty rate. Sudur Paschim province has the highest rate of poverty with 34.16%, while Karnali province has 26.69%. Switching to sports now. Nepal has secured a clean sweep in the 3-match one-day international cricket series against Canada. In the third and final game today, Nepal achieved a convincing 9-wicket victory, winning the series 3-0. Nepal had won the first game by a thrilling 7 runs and the second game by 4 wickets. Playing at Trivan Cricket Ground in Kirtipur, Nepal successfully chased Canada's target of 233 runs in 44.3 overs, losing just 1 wicket. Anil Shah and Bhim Sarki scored centuries in Nepal's victory, with Anil contributing 112 runs and Bhim scoring an unbeaten 101. Kushal Bhurtel, who was dismissed for 13 runs, played a significant role for Nepal, while Anil and Bhim shared a crucial partnership of 189 runs for the second wicket. Earlier, after winning the toss, Canada, batting first, managed to score 232, losing 8 wickets in the allotted overs. Hemant Dhami replaced Sompal Kami in the playing 11 after Nepal's fielding performance. Dhami, making his international debut, took 3 wickets, dismissing openers Aaron Johnson at 4, Shreyas Mova at 25 and Dylan Helliger at 4. Similarly, Kushal Malla took 2 wickets in the name of Srimant Vijay Ratne at 22, and captain Saad bin Zafar remained unbeaten with 31 runs. Sompal Kami, given a break from fielding, was retained in the team in place of Hemant Dhami on Monday. In the regular weather update, the Met Division says the weather tonight and tomorrow is likely to be partly to generally cloudy in Bagmati, Gandaki, Lumbini, Karnali and Sudur Paschim provinces, and partly cloudy to mainly fair in the rest of the country. Here are the rest of the details. And to wind up, here are the headlines one more time. Government downsizes budget estimates for the current fiscal year after mid-review, revised estimates worth 87.38% of the initial allocation. Prime Minister presents National Security Council annual report to the President, 18-point suggestion given to government for corruption control. Education Committee under the House of Representatives calls for reconsideration of the controversial selection of TU Vice Chancellor, urges transparency in appointment process. Police arrest an Indian national with a huge sachet of counterfeit Nepali currency. The arrestee nabbed with 18.2 million fake notes. Israel expands its offensive and attacks Rafah with 63 Palestinians reported killed. Israel says 2 hostages rescued in a raid. And Ahmedabad secures a clean sweep in the three-match one-day international cricket series against Canada. Anil Shah and Bhim Sarki shine with a century each. That's it from this edition. Until next time, from all of us here at the English News Desk, goodbye and namaste.